I promised a video on programming errors. So programming errors can be divided into basically 3 types of errors. First of all, logical errors, syntax errors, and last, runtime errors. So logical errors, so we've talked a little bit about those already. Logical errors are errors that cause your program to produce wrong results. So let's write this out. So cause program to produce wrong results. So this could be things like you're calculating someone's pay and it's not outputting the right pay. That's going to be an example of a logic error, and someone's probably going to be really mad if it's calculating low pay. So you want to make sure that your programs don't have logic errors. So logic errors can be the hardest error to find. Out of these 3 types of errors, logic errors can be really hard to find. So as much as possible, you just want to do whatever you can to prevent having logic errors. So syntax errors are errors that cause your program not to compile. So these errors are usually pretty easy to find. So when you get these errors, so you'll be compiling your program and it won't compile and it will give you an error. So it'll tell you what line your error's on, and then you just go find that error, fix it, and recompile your program. So these could be from things like not having a semicolon or some other punctuation. So but syntax errors, so these are, if you have a syntax error, your program won't compile. Runtime errors, so these are errors that occur while program is running. And so if you've ever been using like Word or some other program and it crashes, that means that it had a runtime error. So when programs have runtime errors, they crash while they're running. The one common thing that can cause a runtime error in programs that you're writing is if you divide by 0. So if you divide by 0, you're going to get a runtime error. So just keep these 3 errors in mind. Syntax and runtime errors can be kind of hard to figure out because usually they just cause your program to crash, so you might not get a line number for where your error is. So we're going to be learning about debugging a little bit later. Debugging is a process that will help you figure out where runtime errors are. Syntax errors, if you get a compilation error, you have a syntax error. Just be really careful about logic errors, like double check your logic, make sure your equations are right. Since they don't actually cause your program to crash or not compile, they can be pretty hard to find.